So we have a silent auction at the back. So if anybody's interested in supporting the association and the PPC and help get a PPC member of parliament elected in the next election, this is the way it's done. We have to start at the grassroots in our local communities, having events like this where we have volunteers make all the food. We have Johnny and Derek on the barbecue out there. Everybody's volunteers. Shelley and Erica, who's organized the entire silent auction at the table there. Gary and Liz are working. Everybody's working together in order to make this happen because they have hope now for the people in the PPC. There's actually hope. Like, I can't imagine the last 3 years if there was no PPC. What would I have to put my hope on? Thankfully, I do have my faith. But without that, in terms of our country, I would have no hope for it. But right now with the PPC, I have hope, and I know that I know the PPC will win. We will win. The only uncertainty is when. So, and that's what we have to work towards. And really, the way I look at things, I'm not running to win. That is not my primary goal. My primary goal is to stand up for what is good, true, and just. And that's all the only thing I can worry about. And put forward the ideas of the PPC as clearly and as concisely as I can. And if I can do that, then I've done my job. I don't need to worry about anything else. And if the people choose to vote for someone else, my conscience is clear. I've done everything. I've offered a different option. Max has offered a different option. The PPC has offered a different option. And this is all we can really do. And so we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to continue to have these kind of events at halls where the heat doesn't even work. They informed me last night or this morning that the heat's not working. I go, well, we're going to do it. We're not. What option do we have? So we're having the event, whether the heat's working or not. We're bringing the barbecue from home. You know, all these things, the way we do it, it's a grassroots event. So up until 7 o'clock, we're going to be having just the barbecue. We're going to have some food. We're going to be doing the silent auction, and at 7 o'clock is when the annual general meeting starts. One thing I'd like to bring to your attention as well. We had the Million March for Children on September 20th in St. Catharines. It was an enormous success. Across Canada, there were tens of thousands of people marching for parental rights, for return of parental authority over the government trying to take authority over our children. There is another one coming up next Saturday. It's in St. Catharines again. I would urge you to come to that as well. I'm going to be taking part in that march as well. It's the same organization, same people kind of behind the whole thing. The location is being kept somewhat secret until the last moment, but they're doing it again in St. Catharines. That was a great strategy. They kept the location secret until the morning of the march. And what happened was there was about 1,000 people there to ask the government to respect parental authority. There was about 12 anti-protesters there. It was quite good, and I think it was because of the way it was organized. They released the location. Of course, we probably lost some of our supporters because they couldn't find the location because it wasn't released until the morning. But it was an excellent, excellent event. So next Saturday, there's going to be another one. It's in St. Catharines, sort of, it's, from what I know, it's in a commercial area. It's not the same area. They had it at the DSBN, which again brought attention. Those are the people, the bureaucrats that are just going along with this, these lies, telling children that they can change their gender. You know, and I often wonder with these politicians who say that, yes, a man can give birth, apparently. It's such a bald-faced lie. If they're willing to lie about something as basic and as obviously true, a lie, are they really going to tell you the truth in every other matter that's far more nuanced? I mean, I would ask them, if they if they, I would ask them the question, I know a man can think he's a woman, a man can dress like a woman, a man can have surgeries and ingest hormones in order to look more like a woman, but how can a man become a woman? And I think I think they've lost sight of reality and lost the grip of reality to the point where they can't even answer, or they don't even ask those most basic questions about reality and what they're being fed. And so this narrative is certainly being spoon-fed to these politicians from the globalists. I mean, this is a global agenda, and it's not by accident that it's happening all over the world and in the same time, in the same places. So it's not a surprise. But I guess the only other thing I wanted to mention is still some food over there. We're going to have some pies, drinks, coffee on the table over there. I let Maxime know. We invited Maxime Bernier, our leader, to our event here today. He wasn't able to come, but he did send us he recorded a message, and I just wanted to play that to you right now. So can you put the lights on the wall there? So like I said, we invited Maxime to join us for this event, but unfortunately he couldn't be here. But he did send this recorded message to me yesterday. And so I just want to play that to you right now.
Hello everybody. Sorry that I cannot be with you tonight, but I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the hard work building that regional riding association in Niagara region. I want to thank Maureen, Sam, Jim, and Brendan, and all the team over there. You are the people's party. You are promoting our policies, our ideas in your community, and it's because of people like you that the party can grow all across the country. So we are building regional riding associations all across the country to be ready for the next general election. Speaking about next general election, you may know that next summer 2024, we will have a conference in Ottawa with our candidates, the executive of our riding associations, and our members. And that will be a 2 days conference. We will have very interesting speakers, and the goal is to be ready for us for the next general election. That will be an important election. As you know, I will be able to participate in the national debates. I will have fun to debates against Poliev and Trudeau and all these establishment politicians. So, sorry that I cannot be there, but I want to let you know, I want to help you to build that regional riding association. So if you need me, if you want me for a fundraising or something like that, don't hesitate to be in touch with us, and I'll try to be with you. So stay strong and free, and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Max. Bill, can you turn the lights back on, please? Thank you. Thanks so much. So we are, and like Max said, we're having also a conference next year 2024, it's in August. We had a meeting actually today, and they have the date, and it's going to be in Gatineau, Quebec. So it's going to be a great opportunity to show the establishment that actually we are growing, we're a growing force, and that we are making a difference. The difference we've made is astounding, even in the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party has now shifted because they see the difference we're making, and they are afraid. And well, they're not afraid, but they're more just opportunists. They are not. They have no principles. They just want votes. They're willing to win. If someone told them that they're going to win by saying a man can become a woman, they'll say it. They'll say something so ridiculous, and we see that they were doing that. We, on the other hand, we have principles. We have a policies and a platform that isn't going to change, it will develop. The reason it's not going to change drastically, it's not one day we're going to believe one thing and the next day we're going to believe 180 because of some polls telling us to change our beliefs. We're not going to operate that way. We're going to operate from the point and the perspective that there is a truth, that there is a right way of doing things, and we're going to find it. We believe we have it now. But of course, there's always new things that come up, and there's always development that will occur. But we will not change our policies. We will not change our platform in order to win votes. We will change our policies and platform because we find out more truth. But not out of a desire, a raw, naked desire for power. It's only for actually revealing truth to the people and allow the people to choose for themselves the truth. So, listen, thank you so much for coming. And I'm thankful to Jim as well. He is the president so far of the newly amalgamated association. Well, he's not yet, but probably will be after the end of the day. So yeah, I'm grateful, and I'm grateful to all of you as well who are coming out to these events, showing your support, because that also gives me the necessary motivation and also courage to step up. You know, and when it started for me about in April of 2021, when I became the candidate, I got the word from head office. It was quite funny. And I was running my business at the time. We were getting into our busy season. And the bylaw officers were coming by to my place all the time because I wasn't wearing a mask. And I was letting people in without a mask. Then we were going to have an event to announce my candidacy. And they show up 2 days before the event with a letter signed by the mayor and the solicitor saying that if I have this event 2 days from now, that they're going to give me a $100,000 fine, they're going to arrest me, and they're going to put me in jail for up to a year. And so, as promised, we had our event, and because I thought, there's what they're looking to do. I mean, whether it's by accident or by design, they want to instill as much fear as possible in order so people like myself will back down and back away. But when tyrants see that people aren't going to back down, they're not going to comply with their ridiculous authoritarian demands, then they don't know what to do. Yeah. They don't know what to do. And so when they saw I wasn't backing down, they showed up on the day of the event. We had about 300 people at that event. Was anyone at that event? Thank you for coming, yes. Thank you for coming. So the police shut down the road and didn't allow people to come to my property. The bylaw officers all showed, there's 4 of them showed up, plus the police, they all showed up. I told them at noon I was going to say my speech, so they were all pressing in. They come onto my property at noon, and I gave them a letter that I had sent out that morning to the Attorney General of Ontario, the Attorney General of Canada, the raconteur at the UN who deals with international human rights violations, the Chief of Police, and also the Mayor of Fort Erie. I sent this letter out that morning to everybody, and when the head
John, my buddy John, who's the head bylaw officer who's visited me many times because I wasn't wearing a mask, he showed up. I said, John, listen, I would recommend that you read this letter very carefully because it outlines the risks that you undertake personally if you violate my rights here today or if you violate anyone's rights here today. I turned around and I walked back and I said my speech and he's looking at this thing. He looked like he just landed on the moon and he doesn't know where to get this. He's looking at the other side. Is it real? Is it counterfeit? Right? So he's trying to figure this thing out and they all, basically, I said my speech, they had to listen to it, which was good. Hopefully they learned something. Hopefully they learned something about the PPC and what we really believe in and what we stand for, not what the mainstream media is pushing, but what we really believe. And I hope that they listen to that. But also, there was many people worried that, you know what, do you think they're going to arrest you after everybody leaves? I said, I don't know. I don't, you know, it's beyond that. we're well beyond worrying about that. The only thing we can do now is just be grateful for this day. Thank God for the day that we had. And they didn't do a thing. They didn't give me even a $5 fine because I didn't tie my shoelace properly. Right? So they didn't give me any fine at all. They didn't arrest me. They didn't give me their promised $100,000 fine. They did none of that. And so I think when authoritarians see that regular people, number one, aren't going to comply and they're not going to abide with their authoritarian demands, they don't know what to do. They back down. That's their only way.
Do you remember we were all chanting shame, shame, shame at all of the bylaw officers and everybody that was standing over at the side?
It was great. It was really great, and it was great how it was. Everyone naturally was protecting everyone else.
Yeah,
it was
everybody
a
doing
very
together.
it was very nice. So that gave me hope to realize that even if things get worse, which thankfully we've had a bit of a turnaround, but we know this is they're passing laws and they're doing all the other stuff while things are calm, apparently. That it's going to happen again, but they saw how people were willing to protect themselves, in a peaceful, non-violent way, and in the same way that the truckers did as well, and it was beautiful. So I'm grateful that we are able to have the PPC and that we have that ability to fight this peacefully. So thank you. Thank you.